13 Action News starts now.
There's a growing push for more data centers as tech companies race to power the data centers to support AI services. Some Americans are reporting spikes in their electric bills. Now some local neighborhoods are pushing back, hoping to stop the facilities from being built near their homes. Data centers is the big story today. In fact, there's a new one that could be coming to Dundee Township. The project would require 750 acres worth of land, and it would be the biggest developmental project the township has seen in more than 20 years. But some people worry about what the potential project means for them. 13 Action News reporter Matt Mergen is live with the story. Matt.
Tina, that's where I spoke to the township supervisor today, and they clarified that this is not a done deal just yet. As you can see behind me, this is just a small portion of what would be the needed 750 acres for this new data center. I spoke to, like I said, the Dundee Township today and a trustee, and the supervisor told me it's not a done deal. He did not want to go on camera today, but said this potential development project would mark the town's biggest since the Chrysler engine plant built in the early 2000s. He said because of the magnitude of this project, they are spending extra time doing their due diligence and will be visiting nearby areas with data centers. I also spoke to some residents today who voiced concerns at the last town hall meeting. They said they are worried about how the center will affect their rural area lives, citing noise, pollution, and water concerns, and some say they may even have to leave the area because of this.
My great-grandparents raised my grandma here. I'm now raising my son here. It's 4 generations of farmland that we'd have to say goodbye to. Dundee's a small town. I feel like we're better than that.
The next town hall meeting is going to be taking place on October 8th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Residents will have a chance to ask more questions about the data center, and the potential developer is expected to be there. I'll have more on this story at 6 later today. Tina.
All right, thanks, Matt. According to the Data Center Map, a research organization that tracks these data centers across the country, there are currently 56 data centers in Michigan. Most of those are located in the southern part of the state. Now, Detroit has the most facilities in the state with 26. That's followed by Grand Rapids with 9 and Lansing with 6. Only one data center is currently operating near the Ohio-Michigan line, and that facility is in Monroe, Michigan. Ohio also seeing a growing push for more data centers. In our area, Oregon City Council members are making changes to the city's zoning for a proposed data center. Back in August, City Council voted in favor of that zoning change, with one council member abstaining from the vote due to a conflict of interest. Now, the rezoning to an industrial park could pave the way for a multi-billion-dollar data center. The city has already purchased 6 properties in the run-up to the rezoning, with the focus being on a 170-acre parcel of land at the corner of Wynn and Corduroy that could be home to the development. Still, neighbors telling 13 Action News a potential data center is not something they want to see.
Any household that lives in the city of Oregon, if this happens, will certainly benefit from the way we're able to expand city services, or continue some, or add some.
Before this, I grew up in Oak Harbor, and I've got to experience the benefits from the power plant of what it was going to the school system. And being now living here, I've had my fair share of working in Oregon in the construction trades, where my money has stayed put into the local cities.
The Oregon City Administrator telling our I-Team today that they are working to set up a public town hall meeting with the data center developer. Now, there's no date for that meeting right now. The city says the developer wants to work through more of the hurdles and logistics so they actually have answers for people who have questions about those plans. And Oregon not alone in the changes. Waterville Township trustees also unanimously approving a text amendment change to its current zoning resolution in an effort to add data processing centers as a conditional use in agricultural zones. According to our media partner, The Blade, the township doesn't have a data center that's interested in locating there right now. They simply want to be prepared should an offer be on the table. And a multi-million-dollar Meta data center is coming to Wood County. That facility will support 100 jobs when it's complete. About 1,000 construction workers are hired, and they're working on the construction. The target date for finishing construction is 2027. Local leaders say getting to this point has been a process that's taken a few years. A representative from Meta called Middletown Township a perfect location for a data center.
It offers so much. great access to infrastructure and renewable energy, a strong pool of talent, and most importantly, a wonderful set of community partners that have helped move this project forward.
And Ohio has nearly 200 data centers operating all across the state. Most of them are in Columbus, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. Let's take a look. Here's the map from that U.S. Department of Energy. You can see where most of the data centers, that is, are located all across the country and how the centers draw power. The areas in red near Ashburn, Virginia, and Maricopa County in Arizona draw the most power, using more than 3,500 megawatts, while those in yellow draw under 500 megawatts of power. So you can really see that on the map. The red areas are the ones we were talking about that draw the most power. Now, currently, U.S. data centers already consume 2 to 3% of the country's electricity. However, this is expected to increase by the year 2030. And of course, that puts pressure on utility companies and lawmakers to expand the grid capacity faster. The demand for more energy means many households in Ohio could see a price hike by as soon as next summer. According to the entity that manages the electric grid for Ohio, data centers house computers and servers that power artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and digital storage. That means that there needs to be new power generation, and it needs to come online to support the rapid rise in the data centers.
The data centers couldn't come at a worse time. You know, a data center can be built much more quickly than the infrastructure needed to support it. So you have kind of an inherent mismatch there.
And the National Energy Assistance Directors Association says the data centers will also impact your winter bills, with the average cost to heat a home this winter expected to jump nearly 8% when you compare it with last year. Also in Ohio, there's a new bill that could help you save some money, but it asks you to give up control of your thermostat to improve the state's power grid. House Bill 427 was introduced to the Ohio House back in August, and if approved, it would set up a voluntary system where utility companies can step in and actually change your thermostat inside your house. According to the statement released by the Ohio House website, customers would have the ability to opt out here, and utility companies would have the ability to pay customers back for participating. The bill sponsor says it's a way to prevent blackouts in the future.
They give them the ability to manage peak demand. And peak demand is where we have blackouts and where bad things happen if they can't manage that really hot day or that really cold day.
This is nowhere near a done deal right now. It currently sits in the House Energy Committee. And of course, data centers